I'm teaching Finnegan how to use the telephone. And now, the first thing you do, Finnegan, is you make sure you know the number you want to call. And then when you've done that, you lift up the receiver. That's that part. This is just our toy phone, so we can just put it down there. Okay, so you watch what I do. See, you lift up the receiver. That's called the receiver. And then you have to do the numbers. No, this isn't one that goes round and round. That's another kind. We have one of those, a real one. But this is my toy one. This is a kind you push. The different buttons have a number on each one, see? Okay, so I will push the numbers on the buttons, and then we will find out if the person is at home. Who are we going to call? Well, we're going to call Mr. Dressup. Hang on, just to get his number. I know what it is. Then you wait for it to ring. And when he picks up the telephone, thank you, then you say into the phone, "Hi, Mr. Dressup, how are you?"
I'm fine, thank you, Casey. How are you?
Hey, I'm supposed to be talking to you on the telephone.
Fine, Casey. How are you? Oh, that's your telephone.
Yeah, my toy one. I was just showing Finnegan how to use it.
That's right. That's the way you do.
Yeah.
And, and you have to remember, when you're done, always put the receiver back on the phone.
Right.
Because if you don't, then nobody will be able to call you. So always make
No.
sure it's back right on solid.
Uh-huh.
And did you tell Finnegan that telephones aren't toys to play with, that you only use them when you know how and when you're making a real call to somebody?
Yes.
So
Well, we'll
good.
put this away, I think.
All right, I'll put it over here. And we'll have
Yeah.
a make-believe phone on one side and a real phone on the other side.
And we'll try it again tomorrow, okay, Finnegan? Because you know what? The best way to learn something is to do it lots of times, and then pretty soon you'll know the proper way to do it.
Right.
If there's something I want to remember, and I want it to stick in my brain, I just do it over and over and over, over and over again. Over and over and over and over, over and over again. Over and over and over and over, over and over again. And that's how I remember.
Good way to remember your telephone numbers,
Sure.
just to say it over and over. Or the number of the street where you live, too, so
Yeah,
you
'cause
can remember that.
When I was a baby, I didn't know how to do any of those things.
No. Well, nobody does when they're a baby.
No.
When you were a baby, you couldn't use the telephone,
No.
you couldn't talk.
Nope.
I had to even dress you myself because you couldn't dress yourself when you were
That's
little.
right.
Of course, you didn't wear much when you were little except diapers and just a little shirt.
Yeah.
And I used to have to change a diaper. I remember that. And you used to wiggle around a lot. But you had to have a diaper because babies are too little to go to the bathroom by themselves.
Yeah.
And I'd have to change a diaper, and you'd laugh sometimes. And sometimes you'd wiggle so much I'd have to hold on to you with one hand and try to change the diaper with the other one hand. It was pretty hard to do. And then, of course, eating was another thing because little babies can't use a spoon at first. They can't hold on to it. So I'd have to hold the spoon and try to get pablum into your mouth, except sometimes you'd grab the spoon by the end that had the pablum in it, and it would go all over the place, and you'd get it on your face and on your clothes. Sometimes I wonder how much got into your tummy. And then I'd have to wash you off, because, of course, a little baby can't take a bath by itself. And you used to, at first, you didn't like a bath too much, and you didn't like your hair washed either. And you'd cry and fuss, but after a while you got so you liked to take a bath. And you'd laugh and you'd kick around and the water would go all over the place. And I'd have to hold on to you in the bath, too, so that you didn't slip out of the water or down into the water too far. And then you were old enough to crawl around. And you used to crawl all over the place. And one of your favorite places was the kitchen cupboards down low. So I made sure that there was nothing dangerous down there, nothing that could hurt you. And you used to love to take a wooden spoon and bang on the pots and pans just to hear the noise. And you still do. And of course you couldn't talk. So the only way that you had of making me know something would be to cry. Babies do a lot of crying, sometimes because they're tired, sometimes because they're hungry. and just go wah, wah, wah. And I'd try to figure out what it was that you needed. Sometimes you just wanted somebody to hold on to you. And then I remember when you got your first tooth. You cried for a while before because your mouth was sore when it was coming up through the gums in your mouth, you know? And then you got the tooth, one tooth. You were very proud, and I was too. And then you got more teeth. And after you had a lot of teeth, then you could chew different kinds of food, and then you had to learn to brush your teeth. And that was quite a job, too. You were hardly big enough to even reach up to the bathroom sink, even standing on a big block. And you used to make a mess of the toothpaste. It would get all over your face and your mouth, and sometimes all over the floor, too. But you were learning. You were doing it over and over again. And then you learned how to put on your own socks all by yourself, one on each foot. And pretty soon, when you started walking, then you got shoes. I used to have to put on the shoes for you, and then you learned how to put on the shoes by yourself. And then you learned to lace them up by yourself. And now you can tie them by yourself, can't
yes.
you?
Most of the time. Sometimes I get a bit mixed up in tying.
Well, it happens.
You remember you said you'd help me do one of those magic pictures?
Oh, yes, do you?
Do you have time to do it now?
Oh, I think so. Now would be a good time for magic picture. I
All
didn't
right.
find everything I needed. Do you know where there are any little candles? Just small ones?
What color?
Well, white candles the best.
White.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. There's some in the kitchen. Maybe if you could get those.
All right. Come on,
and I'll
Finnegan.
get the other things. We're going to make a magic picture. Have you ever tried one of those? I guess there are different kinds of magic pictures, but, well, I'll show you how this one works. What you need is some paper, first of all. I do have some paper under here. It can be almost any color paper. Then you need paints. I've got some paint here. This is finger paint. And I have to add some water to it because you need a dark color, dark blue or dark red or dark green. This is blue, and I'll mix it up so it's quite runny because the finger paint is pretty solid. But if I put some water in it like that, then mix it round and round, and round and round and round. So this is what you need so far. You need paper, and you need dark paint, and then you need either some wax candles, or some wax crayons. And the candles should be just the plain white kind, or the wax crayon should be a light color or white color.
Here. Is this what you
Here.
needed?
Oh, fine. That's just the right size, Casey.
Oh, good.
3 candles. That's
Yeah.
one for me and one for you, and I guess I don't know if
spare.
Finnegan wants one or not.
I don't
Spare
think
one.
he wants to
All
do
right,
it.
I think I've got enough paint mixed up here.
Mm-hmm.
That looks about right.
That looks quite good.
Next.
Next, what do we do now?
Here we are. Finnegan, there's one if you want to use it. What we do
He's
is
just going to
take
watch, I think.
the candle and draw a picture on the paper.
All right.
Now, if you make a mark on this, you can't see it, can you?
No.
That's where the magic secret picture comes in.
Aha!
When you draw on that, nobody can see what you've drawn.
Ooh.
Even you can't see what you've drawn first. So would you like to take
Yes.
one and...
This piece of paper?
turn it around. Wrong
Oh,
end,
thank
too.
you.
And
Piece of
yeah,
paper?
that piece of paper, you can
Right.
work right over there.
Okay.
I won't even look at what you're drawing.
All right.
And I'll draw something myself.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to do because you can't see where you've made a mark. If you don't want to draw a picture of something, you can just make a lot of scribbles all over the place, too.
Well, I'm trying to draw a picture, not a scribble.
I'm trying to draw a picture, too, but I can't see where I left off.
No,
I'm
I
just going
can't
to
either.
guess.
I was going to write my name, but I don't know if I can do it. But I
Oh,
don't
dear.
think I think I better stop.
Oh, all right. Sometimes you can use colored paper and a crayon that's the same color as the paper. That doesn't show up too much. The idea is that it shouldn't show up. Can you see what I've done?
No.
I can't see what I've done either. Now.
Can you see what I've done?
No, I can't. Now we're going to find out the secret.
Yes.
This is where the dark colored paint comes in. You just paint over the paper with a dark color, and the magic picture will start to appear, start to show. So that's part of it already. Aha! A little paint.
Somebody's face.
Somebody's face. See, everywhere that I marked with the crayon, the paint doesn't stick because it's waxy, and the water paint won't stick to the wax part. So, wherever you go with the...
Is that supposed to be me?
Well, I guess it could be you.
Yes.
It worked.
Did work, all right.
Is that a
Now see
surprise
about
for you?
mine.
All right.
Try mine.
I got a surprise here. Now, I don't know what you've drawn, so we'll see.
I don't know
I'll paint
either.
it this way. Oh, I see something. Something's happening.
So working?
Mm-hmm.
It's working. It's working. I think it is working.
It is. Oh, that's a good picture, Casey. That must be Finnegan.
Yes. And can I draw some more things on here on the paint pot?
Well, no, it won't work on the wet paint.
Oh,
So
so it's finished.
it's finished, unless you could do it after it all dries and then do another color on top
Yeah.
of it.
Ooh, I know what I might do.
What?
Ooh,
What?
I might write down my telephone number on a piece of paper like that with the candle,
Yeah.
and I won't paint over it. I'll take it over to my friend Georgie's house, and then I'll say, "Now you have to find out what my number is, and then you can phone me." And I'll tell him he has to paint it
That's a good idea.
like a secret message.
Okay, that's the... You want to use the whole paper?
It's a bit big, isn't it?
Oh, why don't you fold it over?
All right.
It can be folded over like that, and then
Thanks,
George can
Finnegan.
open it up, and he'll look inside and say,
Oops.
there's nothing there.
Okay, I know my number, so I'll
All right.
write it down. 5,
That's a great idea. And then you just say,
3,
call the number that's on there, George.
3, 1, 2. There. That's it. Now,
I guess that's it. I can't see it.
I'll just run over and I'll tell him that's what I'm doing.
All right.
All right?
Good
And then
idea.
I'll see if he wants to phone me when he finds out what the number is.
All right. Well, that was fun. Wash out the brush. Ooh, I just happened to think I was going to do something for lunch. I better get busy on that, eh? Thought it would be a good idea to have pasta for lunch. And there are lots of different kinds of pasta, aren't there? Spaghetti is a pasta, macaroni is a pasta, noodles are pasta, so many different kinds. Let's look at all we've got here. Well, we've got a lot of different kinds. I couldn't make up my mind which. There's spaghetti, and that's very skinny stuff. And those are noodles. See, they're wider. And, oh, these are nice over here. I like these. These are shells. Hey, aren't they nice? Neat looking. So I couldn't decide what I was going to do, and then I got another idea. A little while ago, somebody gave me a little machine that's supposed to make different kinds of pasta. You can make, well, I don't know that you can make shells on it, but you can make the straight ones. You can make spaghetti or wide stuff like for lasagna or noodles. I'm going to try to do that for our lunch. First of all, I have to roll out the dough a bit. This is supposed to be the right kind of dough for pasta. See, all the pastas are made, they start out with a dough like this. You know, bread starts out with dough, and donuts and cakes and pie crust and rolls and pizza. And this is a special dough, and then just depends on what shape it's made into, and that's the different kinds of pasta. My machine can make some different kinds, and in a big pasta factory, they can make all kinds of things, and every one with a different machine. I'll roll this out a little bit more, and then I'll get my machine, and I hope it's going to work. If it works, then I can make quite a lot of it, and we can have a good pasta lunch. All right, now to get the machine. Isn't that a funny looking machine? It has a crank on one end, and the crank can be put in different places depending on what you want to do. Now here there are a couple of rollers that just roll together, and the reason for that is that you want to roll out the pasta dough even skinnier than what I did here with my other roller. I think that's about right. Now, I'm going to roll it, and it's going to go in here through the rollers and come out the bottom. There she goes. I have to turn the crank hard. Can you see it coming out the bottom there? It's a lot skinnier than it was when I started. There. Yeah, that's a lot thinner. See? Now I think that's about right to make what I'm going to make. And now I turn the machine around and put the crank in here. And I think I'm going to make some noodles, fettuccine. That's wider than spaghetti, but not quite as wide as those egg noodles. And it has a couple of things in there. It's got some rollers, and they sort of go together. Looks like the way my knuckles fit together, like that, see? And they roll right together, and the pasta dough goes through that and comes out. Well, you'll see how it comes out, because here it goes into the machine. The crank goes around and around. And what's happening down below? Fettuccine! Isn't that something? It's working. It's working. See? When you get pasta in a store and you got it in a package or a bag or a box, it's dried. That's what happens at the factory. They dry it out. They make it like this in the machines first, and then it's dried out and put in the packages. But mine is going to be fresh, not dried out, just made right out of the dough and into the water, and then I'll make a nice sauce for this. We're going to have a good lunch.
Mr. Dressup,
Oh, yes, Casey?
I'm back.
All right, be right there.
Didn't take long.
Coming right over.
That's right, Finnegan. No, we didn't take very long. So we have to wait now for George to phone us.
So George got the secret message?
Well, first he didn't know how to find it, but then I told him to get some paint.
Okay,
So then I came running back, and he's going to phone as soon as he finds out what it is.
You weren't even there when he painted it then?
No!
Oh, won't he get
No.
a surprise? I'd like to see his face.
I hope it works. Maybe it won't work.
Well, we'll see. It's hard to tell whether you put the number down right because you couldn't see the number.
Didn't hear the telephone ringing yet, though.
No.
It would ring soon.
Well, we have to be patient, Casey. Whoop. There it is.
That might be him.
Wonderful.
May not.
Hello. Mr. Dressup speaking. Hi, George. Yes, he's right here.
Great.
I'll hand you the phone.
Can I ask him to come for lunch?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, George. You got the number okay, huh? Oh, great. Hey, Mr. Dressup says, would you like to come for lunch? Ask your mother. All right. What did she say? She said yes? Oh, come as soon as you can. Yeah, we're going to have a nice lunch.
Yes.
All right. Fine. Bye-bye. He's gone.
He's coming for lunch, is he?
Yes.
They'll have to make some more noodles. We're going to have fettuccine.
Oh, yummy, yummies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to think of something I can do. I
Something
know.
to do? Something special for lunch
Yeah,
besides food?
I can fix the table up and make it all nice.
Yeah, we could put on
Everything.
some fancy placemats
Yes?
underneath. Oh, I don't have any fancy placemats anymore.
Oh.
I could make some.
Oh, yes, you could make some. And I could, I know what, I could go outside and meet George when he gets here, and maybe I'll have some games to play. We could have a sort of a little party.
All right, that's
All right.
going to be a good. We'll have a
on,
pasta
Finnegan.
party. Special pasta and, placemats. I know a good way to make placemats very easily, very quickly. And they're very pretty, too. And what you make them out of doesn't cost very much because it's just plain old paper towels like this. Now, if you're having a special party, you wouldn't just want to put out just a plain towel, paper towel, and put the dishes on it. It wouldn't look like anything, would it? But I know a way to make some very beautiful placemats out of paper towels. And it's easy. It's fun to do, too. A little messy, First of all, you need some food coloring. That's why I'm in the kitchen. There it is. I have different colors of food coloring here. And some little dishes for the food coloring. And I'll get those. I think 3 dishes will be enough. 3 different colors. You can use 4 colors if you want for these, or as many colors as you get. First of all, some yellow. Now you don't use the food coloring just as it comes from the bottle. Add some water to it, because it doesn't have to be just very strong food coloring. And let's have some green. Couple of glugs of green. There. If food coloring gets on your fingers, it stays for quite a while, but it doesn't hurt. Couldn't hurt because it's made to put in food, isn't it? Let's see, yellow, green, I think some red. That'll be 3 nice colors. So that's going to be quite strong color. I'll bet you're wondering what to do next. Do you think we're going to paint on these? Well, it's not exactly painting. Just take a paper towel like this and fold it like that. Fold it again. And I think I'll fold it one more time, corner to corner, so I've got 3 corners. See, I've got 1, 2, 3 corners, 1 for each color, because you dip the corners of the folded paper towel into the color. I think I will start with red. Soak it right in. Might want another paper towel just to get the wetness out of it. Okay, I've got red. Now yellow I think will be next. Soak it right in. Now we have red and yellow. 1 more color to go. Green. And the last corner goes into the green. Now it's all right if it gets on some of the other colors, because that's the whole reason. You want the colors to run together. Now soak up some of the coloring with that. And I made a design on that one too. Works pretty well. Now unfold it. You have to be careful because, you know, wet paper towels can tear easily, but if you're careful, it works all right. I hope. There it comes. Oh, this is going to be a beauty. A real beauty. Carefully unfold it and look at the design you can make. Isn't that a pretty one? Now this will have to dry, so I'll put it on another paper towel to help it dry. Maybe I'll take it outside and let it dry too. And I'm going to make another one. This one I'm going to make a different way. I'll fold it once that way, and then I'm going to fold it a lot of crazy ways. Because if you fold it a lot of different ways, then you get a different design. So we stick it in the red. Let it dry a little bit. Stick it in the green. Another corner. Let it dry a little bit. Stick the rest of it into the yellow. Sop it down. I wonder what this one is going to look like. Hope I don't get mixed up taking it apart, unfolding it. It's going to be another pretty one. Every one will be a different design depending on how you fold it and how you dip it. And then I'll take them outside because I've got a rack out there I can dry them on. They'll dry in the sun. They'll be all dry by the time George gets here. And isn't that a pretty one, too? I'm going to take them outside and show them to Casey.
Now, what do you think we should play? Chasing each other? Well, that wouldn't be too bad, but I was thinking of another game that's not quite so much rushing around. We could play Simon Says. That's quite a good game. You don't know how to play it? Oh, yes, I think you could learn that quite quickly.
Casey?
Uh-huh.
Look.
Ooh,
fancy placemats.
Neat.
See, isn't that a lovely color?
But they're all
Color?
wet.
Yes, well, I thought I'd put them out here to dry and put them on this little rack here. It won't take them long to dry.
Ah, that's a good idea. Well, I'm thinking of games we could play.
Uh-huh.
And I thought of one that I like to play, which Simon Says. You like that,
I like
don't you?
that game, too, yes.
Uh-huh. Well, we could play it now just once so Finnegan can learn how to do it.
All right.
Want to?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to play a game that is so much fun, and it's not so very hard to do. The name of the game is Simple Simon Says, and I'd like you to play it too. Put your hands in the air, Simple Simon Says. Shake them all about, Simple Simon Says. Do it when Simon says, Simple Simon Says, and you will never be out. Simple Simon Says, put your hands on your hips and let your backbone slip, Simon Says. Put your hands on your head, Simple Simon Says. Bring them down to your side, Simon Says. Shake them to your left, Simple Simon Says. Shake them to your right, Simple Simon Says. Clap your hands in the air, Simple Simon Says. Do it double time, Simple Simon Says. Slow it down like before, Simple Simon Says. Ah, you're looking fine. And then you can do a whole lot of other things.
Yes,
if
but
you
you
want
have to listen. If you're it, you have to listen to make sure Simon says.
Oh, well, that was all Simon Says that time. But this time I'm going to fool you.
All right, try it on me
Right.
and see if I
Try.
can do it.
Simon Says, put your hand on your nose.
Okay.
Simon Says, put your hand on your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Says, put your hand on your chin. Simon Says, put your hand on your ear. Simon Says, put your hand on your nose. Put your hand on your chin. Uh-oh, you nearly did.
Simon didn't say.
No. Simon Says, put your hand on your head. Simon Says, put your hand on your ear. Put your hand on your head. Ha ha ha!
I did it.
Caught you. Caught you.
Oh, yeah. Good for you.
Mhm.
That's a nice one to do,
we can
especially with a
play
lot
that.
of people.
Yes.
So when George gets here, we can all play it.
Right.
Oh, I'd better put the water on for the fettuccine. In fact, I have to make some more fettuccine,
goody,
too.
goody.
Homemade fettuccine. Oh, I'll do one more Simon Says.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Says, put your hand in the air. Simon Says, wave it like this,
Uh-oh.
because it's time for us to say goodbye.
Uh-oh, too
Wave
bad.
your hand. Bye-bye till next time from Casey and Finnegan.
Bye.
And me.
Mr. Dressup.
Bye.